So this is the third video in the series of simple linear regression. In the previous two videos, I explained the statistical concepts underlying simple linear regression, and we also saw that simple linear regression assumes a linear relationship between dependent and independent variable, and the objective of simple linear regression method as a machine learning algorithm is to predict the y-intercept, which is nothing but the beta 0, and beta 1, which is nothing but the slope. So this is the objective of the simple linear regression method. So here I have shown you a straight line drawn on a graph paper which passes through what I am calling it as the observed points, and this line is represented by an equation that we know y equal to mx plus c, where the m is the slope and c is the y-intercept. So this is the c, and this slope is nothing but the m. So there, in the machine learning subject, the same line is represented by two different equations, which we are calling it as y equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 times x, where the beta 1 is slope and beta 0 is the y-intercept. Sometimes it is also represented as theta 0 plus theta 1 times x, where the theta 0 is the y-intercept and theta 1 is the slope. So all these three equations 1, 2 and 3 are same, only with differences in different notations, and in which the values of y, that is observed variable or dependent variable, is expressed in terms of the y-intercept and the slope. And the important point that we must note here is that this line passes through all observed points like this, and these such kinds of graphs are called as the straight line. Now, uh, uh, on this slide, I am introducing a new term called regression line, and here I would like to make I would like to highlight the difference between regression line and straight line. The difference is like this: if you observe uh, the points that I have plotted on this plot, which is called as the scatter plot, on which here the x is nothing but our mid semester examination mark and y is nothing but our end semester examination mark. Uh, and these are the different observations that I have taken up to 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So for with respect to the first point, that is the third point, the 3, the value of is 32, and this is the point. Now this line, which is I am calling it as the regression line, it is not passing through any one of the observed values like this. This is the point P1, P2, P3 up to P9. There are 9 observations are there. But this line is not passing through any one of these points, but it is passing through the points which are nearest to all the points that we have observed. So these are our observation points P1, P2, P3 up to P9. But this line is passing through, not through those points, but it is passing through all the points which are nearest to the observed points. So such kind of line is called as the regression line. Now, because it is not passing through all the observed points, this regression line introduces a term called error in our equation. Now this error is nothing but the difference between the point in which it should pass, and this line actually should pass through this point, but it is not passing through this point, it is passing through this point. So that's why the difference is called as the error. And there are, in this graph, there are such 9 different uh, error terms exist for each and every observation. This error is introduced in this by this line, because it is not passing through the observed point, but it is passing through the most nearest point we are to the observed points. So this is the definition of the regression line. Now see here, when we add the squares of each and every error term that is introduced by the regression line, that addition is called as the residual sum of square. The residual sum of square is the addition of all error terms that has been introduced by the regression line. Now this is the exact equation of our regression line, which is called as the y dash, which is equal to beta 0. Beta 0 is nothing but the y intercept, and beta 1 is nothing but our slope. So beta 1, and the error is the difference between the observed points and the point from which the line is passing. So there are n number of error terms are introduced. Now if this error term is most of the time this error term is negligible, and it needs to be mm, neglected. So if we neglect this error term, this equation approximately equal to, this is here I am calling it as approximately equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 times x, and the value of error is given by this. So value of error is nothing but the y times y dash minus, so this value, if we take on this slide, y dash minus beta 0 minus beta 1 times x. So this is the definition of the error. Regression line introduces the error. And why it introduces the error? Because it is not passing through all observed point, and it is passing through the most nearest point to the observed points. That's why it introduces the error. And this is the equation for calculating the error. And when we add individual errors together, it forms the residual sum of squares. Now, in order to estimate the values of beta 0 and beta 1, we are taking the error term, and we are adding all those n error terms together. The square of all those error terms we are adding together to form what it is called as the residual sum of squares, which is equal to this, which is nothing but the e1 square. This term is nothing but e2 square, and this term is nothing but the e1 square. So when we add together this equation, this is nothing but the a residual sum of square. So in order to find the value of beta 1, which is nothing but the slope of the regression line, we need to differentiate this RSS term with respect to the beta 1 and set it to the 0. Why we need to set it to 0? Because we want to have minimum error or the zero error. That's why we are setting equating it to 0. So this when in order to find the value of beta 1, the value of beta 1 can be calculated by differentiating RSS with respect to the beta 1 and equating it to the 0. When you solve this differentiation equation, you will get the value of beta 1, which is nothing but like this. It is the sum of n terms, which is the product of sum of n terms, and each individual term indicates the difference between the observed difference between the input variable xi minus its average value, and difference between the output variable and its average, divided by the summation of the squares of the individual term and its average value. So this is the equation for the beta 1, which we get when we differentiate RSS with respect to beta 1 and equate it to the 0. Similarly, we can get the value of y equal beta 0 by solving y equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 times x bar, or otherwise by differentiating this RSS term with respect to the beta 0 and setting or equating it to the 0. So the value of, by solving the differential equation, we get the value of beta 0 equal to y bar, which is nothing but the average value of y, or the output variable, and beta 1, the value of beta 1 we have calculated from this equation multiplied by the x bar. X bar is nothing but the value of the average value of the input variable. Now in this slide, what I am going to do is that I am going to illustrate one example to find out the values of beta 0 and beta 1 with actual observed value or the training data set. So this is our training data set of our 9 different values for mid-semester examination, which I am calling it as the x value, end semester examination, which I am calling it as the y value. So in order to find the beta 1, we need to find out the difference between the xi minus x bar and difference between the yi and y bar, and then we need to multiply. So this is the, here I have calculated the value of x bar. Here the value of x bar is 9. So when the 9 is subtracted from 10, you get 1. When 9 is subtracted from 7, you get the minus 2. When you subtract the 9 from the 3, you get the minus 6. So in this way I have calculated all the differences between x minus x bar, or the x average value. Similarly, I have calculated the y minus y bar. Here the y bar is 42.78. When you subtract the 42.78 from the 42, so this is our y value, first y value. When you subtract 42.78 from the 42, you get minus 0.78. Similarly, when you subtract 42.78 from the 39, you get minus 3.78. So in this way, I have calculated all the differences between the individual value of y and the average value of y. Here I have multiplied these two columns, because it is needed in this equation, xi minus x bar times yi minus y bar. So here I have multiplied each and individual term, and then I added all these terms together, so which I got the result 140. So here the 140 is my value of this. And similarly, in order to find the denominator, I have squared xi minus x bar. So xi minus x bar, this difference I have calculated in this first column. This is the first this column squares. So and when I added all these terms, I got the result 100. So 140 divided by 100, which comes around to be beta 1 equal to, value of beta 1 is equal to 140 divided by 100, which is nothing but the 1.4. When I know the value of y bar, so what is the value of y bar? 42.78 is the value of y bar, minus what is the value of beta 1? Beta 1 value is 1.4, and what is the value of x bar? Value of x bar is equal to 9. When you solve this equation, you get the value of beta 0, that is nothing but the 30.18. And the equation of my regression line becomes like this: beta 0 30.18 plus beta 1, that is the 1.4 times x. See here, that equation I have shown here also. So this is the way in which you can calculate or find out the values of beta 0 and beta 1 by using these two formulae. So the most important thing that you should remember here is that this is the formula or equation to find out the value of beta 1 from the given individual values of xi and the yi. And similarly, this is the formula to find out beta 0 from given different values of yi, and when you substitute this value beta 0, you get this equation beta 0 times beta 1 plus x. In our case, the equation becomes y equal to 30.18 plus 1.4x. So these are the two formulae that you should remember in order to estimate the values of beta 0 and beta 1. Thank you.